Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Tuesday night conversations with special people. Tonight we have a repeat guest, but not in the context of the C-Teen program, not even in the context of his primary place of serving Hashem in Skokie, Illinois. But here tonight we have with us Rabbi Yochanan Posner, who's introducing a upgrade in a very fundamental tool of Chabad Hasidus. Perhaps nothing says Chabad more than, excuse me, sir, are you Jewish? And nothing says Chabad more than where you do that, which is on the mitzvah tank. So first of all, Rabbi Posner, thank you for joining us. It's a busy
Thank you for
time for
having me.
everybody. Really appreciate you making that time. And let's get a little background, maybe, if you could, share with us a little bit about what is a mitzvah tank, what is its history, and give us a little sense about that, if you could.
A mitzvah tank is a vehicle which is used as a traveling Chabad house. So in any Chabad house, people come and they do mitzvahs and study Torah and develop a connection with a wonderful Chabad rabbi and rebbitzin who help them grow in their Yiddishkeit. And a mitzvah tank is a traveling Chabad house. Um, And it's actually very interesting that the word tank does not mean tank as like a reservoir for putting liquids in, but tank in this case means a tank as in like an army tank. And the reason is because when it was just starting, and so a New York Times reporter came to report on what was happening with the mitzvah tanks, and it wasn't called that yet then. And Rabbi Krinsky asked the Rebbe, "What do you call these things?" And he said, "Call them mitzvah tanks because they are our tanks. They are our tanks against assimilation." And a tank can go where other vehicles can't go. You can't drive your Toyota Corolla, on a steep mountain, but a tank can roll right over everything and get to where it has to go. So the mitzvah tanks go where other people don't go, and they bring the light of Torah and Judaism to all kinds of people.
Fantastic. So, how did you get involved? You're a busy guy. You got a Chabad House in Skokie. You got a very active C-Teen chapter that we've spoken about with you before, JLI, all that kind of stuff. How did this become your project?
I didn't mean for it to happen, but this, I guess, is what they call hashgacha pratis, divine providence, that even if the person isn't looking for the mission finds the person. And I'm sure many people in this audience know Yehuda Sugar. Yehuda Sugar is the mitzvah tank legend of Chicago, and he accomplished a lot with his mitzvah tank. And then eventually he made Aliyah and moved to Israel, and he needed someone to take over the mitzvah tank. And I'm not sure what happened. I think he asked other people, and they said no. And he came into my office. I think it was the day that he was getting on the plane to go to Israel, holding the keys. Like, could you please take these keys from me? Just hold the keys. And then he gave me some papers that goes along with it. And no one took them from me, so I still have them.
Okay. And how has that experience been? It's been over 10 years. What's that experience been? What has that experience been like? Not just holding the keys, as you so humbly say, but being the person in charge of the mitzvah tank.
What can I say? It's a very special thing and a very important thing, and it's a thing that makes a real difference in people's lives in ways that we don't always realize. Because a lot of times the mitzvah tank reaches people for like a one-off encounter. Excuse me, Jewish, here, take these candles, or put on this tefillin, or let me give you a matzah, or here's a Hanukkah menorah, or want to hear Megillah, and then they're gone a second later. But what I found to be very interesting is today, after it's been about 50, almost 50 years since the mitzvah tank started. Today, more often than not, when I ask somebody to put on tefillin, they know what it is because they've been asked by somebody else before on a street corner. For a lot of people, their entire knowledge of tefillin is doing it in the street, to the point that like the original purpose of the mitzvah tanks was if you ask somebody in the street that it's in public, they're afraid to put on tefillin in public. So here, go into this truck. It's a little private space. We'll do the tefillin in the truck, right? But today, if a lot of people, their only experience with tefillin is in the street, they're not even embarrassed. So like, and that's great. It's like, for example, this past Friday, I was at Niles North and I had a table set up and I was talking with Jewish students in public school, public high school, and there were boys literally lining up to put on tefillin. And among them, there were some who did it for their first time in school. They didn't know that it's normally a thing you do in the privacy of a synagogue. You don't do that in school. They didn't know that. This is the thing you do in school, and that was it. And I see
Amazing.
it more and more. I see it in the hospital. Whenever I meet people, a lot of times they're familiar with it because they've been asked in the street to do that mitzvah, whether it's tefillin or little of an esrog or whatever it might be. So the world really changed. It
Do you
really,
have
really
a
changed.
do you have a favorite mitzvah tank story from your experience, or one that you've heard, or one that really jumps out and maybe encapsulates the whole message of the mitzvah tank?
Well, remember how I was saying that more often than not, it's a one-time encounter and you don't always see where it goes, right? But there's a guy that Yehuda Sugar met in the mitzvah tank, and it's got to be 20 years. It was right when he was starting, so it was 2005, whatever. I don't know. And he got the guy to give him his phone number. So Yehuda Sugar asked him where he lives in Skokie, so he gave me the guy's number. And so I called him and he came to the Chabad house. And for maybe a year or two, we would meet regularly. We were studying Torah together. And then, I don't know, he moved on and whatever. That's kind of how it goes sometimes. He moved on. Amazingly, last month, he walked into a Jewish organization, not Chabad. And when he was, yeah, I guess he hadn't been anything Jewish in a long time. He walked in. They asked him for a reference. He said, Yochanan Posner. And they called me. Like, of course, Yochanan Posner will vouch for me. I haven't seen the guy in 19 years, right? But like, it's amazing. Like these little connections sometimes make a real big difference. Um, there's another guy that also from around that time to show that like the long-term impact. So I um, so I asked you for the sugar also way back when if we can take his mitzvah tank to the July 4th parade in Skokie, and we did. And there a guy saw the mitzvah tank, and he just saw a Jewish thing, Jewish words, whatever. He yelled "Shalom, Shalom!" So we called him over, and he put on tefillin with us. And actually, I have pictures. I'm going to
Please,
show you.
love pictures.
You love pictures, right? I'm going to show you. Um, I can share a screen from the Zoom, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so do you guys see that picture there? So
Not
you
yet. We
see
just there we go.
you see young me 20 years ago attaching this sign to this RV. Yehuda Sugar just bought it. You hadn't gotten the wrap on it yet. So I made those signs. You see there's a clown watching us.
Yep.
This clown is the guy who yelled Shalom Shalom. And so it's actually pretty cool because since then I would meet him every year at the July 4th. Um, and over time, we actually became very friendly. And here's Yehuda putting tefillin on with him that time, right? We
Hold
be,
on.
we be,
There we go.
yeah, we became really friendly, and he became like a foundation of my JLI class,
Wow.
and he became one of the founders of Chabad at Norwood Park by Mendel Pearlstein. And
Beautiful.
a bunch of other things happened that began with that connection. And it's even also interesting. Now, when a guy comes on the internet, he doesn't give you his phone number. But my father was there, and he sees a guy as a clown putting on tefillin. So he told him there's a Gemara about Hani Trey Badchi. There's a Gemara talking about clowns. So this guy was fascinated. He wanted to know chapter and verse. So he told him, "Oh, give us your email address. We'll email you this citation in the Talmud." That was his big mistake. He gave us his email address,
I
and
got it
so
now.
right, and so yeah, so those are some of my favorite stories.
So we got some big news with the Illinois Mitzvah tank. So lay it on us. We're pretty excited about it. Tell us about it.
It actually isn't public yet, but the people on this Zoom get a sneak preview of what the public will
Oh,
know in another day or two. And so for the last 20 years, we've been using Mitzvah, the Yehuda sugar originally outfitted all those years ago. And I'm very happy to say that for lots of use and lots of good times, it's finally going to go to the Gan Eden of Mitzvah tanks. And we're getting a new Mitzvah tank, and we're excited about it because the new one, besides for being new and fresh and beautiful, it also has certain features that make it uniquely suited for our use here in the Chicago area. Um, One is that it's not a huge RV, which, although a huge RV is cool to use, but it's also hard to drive. And our new one is going to be like a bus, a small bus, like a shuttle bus. So it's easier to drive. It's going to have really solid heating and air conditioning, which is really important in the Chicago climate. This is not San Diego. And also, um, it's going to have lots of seats, which, if you think about it, like the way Yehuda Sugar was using it, he would go by himself. But usually we go out with a group of people, whether it's students or friends. We need seats and seatbelts on the mitzvah tank. So this is going to be a 16-seater mitzvah tank. I think might be unusual because most RVs don't have that. And so we're excited about it, and we're hoping that with the new and improved mitzvah tank, we're also going to get new and improved mitzvah tank results. More people using it more often, reaching more people because um, 'cause there were some people who really wanted to take it out and use it, but they were afraid of driving a huge, giant RV.
any pictures of the new tank that you can show us?
I can give me a second to queue up, and I'll
Okay.
show you some
Then
pictures.
tell us how people can get involved. Maybe they want to have the mitzvah tank come down their block, or they want to drive it once a month or so.
Absolutely. So let's see. Um, so here you guys see that?
Not
So
yet. There you go.
there,
Beautiful. Look at that.
okay. So let's see what we got here. Here's me and my son checking it out. Right. Okay, so you see how like all the windows all have a mitzvah. There's
Hmm.
10 windows and there's 10 mitzvahs listed on the mitzvah tank.
Beautiful.
Let's see if you get the other side. You see
Beautiful.
here,
Love your
right?
fellow as yourself.
Av Yisrael,
Illinois.
give tzedakah, kosher food, Jewish education, study Torah. We got to get pictures of both sides, see the other side. And then here's the old mitzvah tank, looking a little old, well worn and well loved, faded, a little busted up, but beautiful. It's holy. The old mitzvah tank it's radiating holiness because of all the mitzvahs that were done on it, all the davening and tzedakah and candles on Hanukkah. And we drove it really far. We drove the old mitzvah tank all the way to Grundy County, Illinois. We did a
Wow.
menorah lighting several years in Grundy County, Illinois, and the only way we can get the permit for it is if we had an indoor space. But there was no indoor space, so we went there in the mitzvah tank, and then we had everyone come. Yeah, so great things happened in the old mitzvah tank, and we're excited about the new one. Um,
Amazing.
and of course, something like this is not inexpensive. There's the cost of buying the vehicle, and then the cost of outfitting it also is not it's not cheap. And so
So give
we're
us a
launching.
website if people want to make a donation or a
Yes,
Zelle or some other information. Where do they go?
absolutely. So we're launching a crowdfunding campaign in just a day or two. But for now, skokichabad.org/mitzvah tank donate. Go right there to our website and you can donate with a credit card. skokichabad.org/mitzvah tank donate. And that definitely will be very helpful and very appreciated by us. We kind of went a little bit on a leap of faith that we started paying the down payment and buying it, even though we didn't have the money yet because got to start somewhere. So now we're hoping that people come through and actually help sponsor it. The total cost of the whole thing is $50,000. It means buying the vehicle and outfitting it. And we have right now 22,000. So
Oh, it's pretty good.
pretty good start.
And then you got to
I've been
operate. You got
hustling.
to pay insurance. You got to pay for
Right.
gas.
Yeah, the monthly costs are a thing. insurance, gas, and maintenance is a big thing because it gets worn out. Like you might spend on your car at the mechanic $1 or $2,000 per year. On a mitzvah tank, you're spending per year on the mechanic probably more like $5,000, $10,000. Stuff happens, you have to really take care of it. And then the biggest thing is that you gotta buy supplies, candles, brochures, stuff to give away. The more stuff we have to give away, the better it is. So there's also a monthly expense.
Fantastic.
In addition, for people who want, we're setting up groups of people who will commit to be a regular mitzvah tank volunteer. We call them tankistim. Tank is tank in Yiddish, and if you go in the tank as a volunteer, you're a tankist. That's what the Rebbe called it, tankistim, plural. And if you're a tankist, you commit to going out on a regular basis on a Sunday morning or other times to go out and meet people on the mitzvah tank. And are hoping to set up 8 groups. Each group will go out every 8 weeks. So it's a 6 times a year commitment to go on the mitzvah tank and go out there into the world and make a difference. Find people and just talk to them. It's amazing what you can accomplish when you talk to people. Sometimes I want to just go out on the street with a big sign that says, "Talk to me." You never know what's going to happen when that happens. So many interesting things happen. People, you just talk with people who you don't know, um, Jews as well as non-Jews, and um, it's a world full of amazing, interesting people that are just waiting for a nice, friendly Chabadnik to talk to them about something meaningful.
Amazing.
And um, and so yeah, you could be one of those people who just go out there and just talk with people, engage them in conversation, and just see what happens. You never know what's going to happen.
Remarkable. Well, Rabbi Posner, Yasher Koach to you for this. Thank you for taking some time to share with us. There's a big Farbrengen tomorrow night. Rabbi Levi Baumgarten, who runs the Mitzvah Tank program in New York, is in town, so we won't have our class tomorrow night. We'll be at the Farbrengen. We'll see everybody Thursday night for Parsha. Thank you, Rabbi Posner. Yasher Koach to you again. skokichabad.org/mitzvah tank donate if you'd like to participate. If you'd like to reserve the mitzvah tank for a day, go be a volunteer, a tankist. One Sunday every other month, 6 times a year, and you can be a participant in this wonderful mitzvah. So thank you for doing this. Thank you for sharing it with us. Thank you for the pictures and lots of mitzvahs to be done out there in the big world that's excited for your new mitzvah tank.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
It isn't mine, it's everybody's.
Good night, everybody. Thanks again. We'll see you Thursday night.
Thank you, rabbis.